Now, here I want to share with you, with this I want to finish off, I want to share with you a fascinating thing. Perhaps it's got to do with the Parshas Shavua, but on Sunday or Monday, I get an email from a young man in Pittsburgh who often sends me questions. And he asks me, where does it come from that we have such long Talleisim? And I haven't gone on a survey comparing to other Chassidus and other circles how long their Talleisim are. But certainly in our circles, our Talleisim tend to come down to the knees. I ask him, are you asking about Talis Cotton or Talis Godel? He says about Talis Godel. So I said, well, first I said, you have to be able to throw it over the sides. A couple of years ago, I bought a new Talis, and I started trying to throw it over my shoulders, and I was like suffocating myself. It was too small. And I had a whole geschäft to replace it with a wider one. When you want to throw over the Talis, you want to be able to throw it over your shoulders, and there should be a bit of weight of the cloth over your left shoulder. And if it doesn't have enough length from side to side, so you can't do an atifa very comfortably. Okay. But he says, no, that's not a problem. The problem is, why do they have to be so long from head to knees? And now, here in front of you, I've got a quote from the Sefer called Nogid Mitzaveh. The Sefer Nogid Mitzaveh is written by Rabbi Yankiv Tzemach, who was a Talmud of the Arizal. I remember when I was a bocher, it was in Montreal, and I was going through that piece where the Alter Rebbe mentions the Nogid Mitzaveh, and I went to Reb Wolf Gringlas and asked him, Reb Wolf, ich suche dem Sefer Negido Mitzvah. The Negido Mitzvah. I didn't know how to pronounce it. So then I showed him and said, oh, Negido Mitzvah. She told me, So he told me what it was. And so this is a Sefer the Alter Rebbe in Hilchos Tzitzis mentions in relation to Tzitzis, etc. But the size of a talus. So there is a halacha in Siman Zayin and Shulchan Aruch that the talus should be what's the minimum size which is chayiv with a talus. A square scarf doesn't need to have tzitzis. So the shear is if a child of 9 years old would be covered rosh v'ruboy, his head and his majority of it would be covered. That size requires tzitzis. And it also says if an adult would be comfortable to go out occasionally, just to go and get something, to go out in the street to wear it. To wear such a thing and just to go out to the street for a minute. Now, I want to explain something. There's no difference la halacha between a talus godel and a talus cotton. It's the same mitzvah. There's no two mitzvahs. So whatever is big enough for a talus cotton is big enough for a talus godel. And if a talus cotton, a square arm in the front, square arm in the back, is enough, that's big enough for a talus godel also. And therefore, a talus, if it reaches your waist, you're good. Now let's read the Lashon here. The Nogid Mitzaveh. Talus godel who soy oy makif by Kabbalah, and he says shu roish tiltif eres shu roishoy al guf ha'odom ad mi bein chadoy, which means by the bottom of your elbows, and that's what it's got to do with Siyas Hanukva. And then he just summarizes sorich sheyakif haroish b'chol guf ha'odom ponim v'ocher ad he'chozer. The waist, till the waist, that your chest has to be covered with your talus. So where does it come from that we're wearing such long talaisim? If it's meant to be a makif, it's a makif hagodl, so it's makif at the head also. But where does it come from that we have such long talaisim? So I actually kind of despaired of finding an answer. And then this morning, I went over to Beis Lubavitch and I picked up the Sikha, which was published for this Shabbos. And I'm going through the Sikha this morning and see what I have over here. The Rebbe asked the following question, talking about a talus. Why does the talus have to cover Rosh V'Ruboy? Why doesn't the talus have to cover Kuloi? Bob Bashor, if the tachlis of the purpose of a talus is that the whole person should be permeated with elikus, so why does the talus? Of course, it's not on a practical question that you should wear the talus under your toes. He's asking in concept. Why is the talus is sufficient to be rosh v'ruboy? Why doesn't it have to be the whole body? Sometimes we say ruboy kikuloi. In many halachas we say the majority is like the whole thing, but the kama in yonim we don't suffice with that, and we have the idea of b'chol drochecha do'eyu. It doesn't say b'roiv drochecha. We don't say Ruba Kekuloi. When it comes to Tevil in a mikveh, it has to be Kol Gufo Yoelo Behen. And if one hair is out of the water, the Tevil is not valid. So why is it by Tzitzis, is it Rosh Ruboy? So Rebbe asks this question in the Sikha, which was published for this week. Basically, what the Rebbe's answer is that HaTorah al Haruv Tedaber. A Beinani, most people can aspire to be a Beinani. It's a bit too much to expect them to be in tune every second of the day. And therefore, there's a motivation. Rosh Beruboy. It should be if the focus is going to be most of the day, is going to be permeated with Elikus, so then the little bit will also be schlepped along with it. I'm just going to read one last paragraph. If Rosh Beruboy, if the majority of your head and your body are wrapped around they are permeated with the talus, then we can apply the concept of Rubik Kuloi, and the Torah reassures that the minority will be drawn after the majority, and eventually you'll become totally permeated with the Elikus. So the Rebbe doesn't really answer the question, which was asked, why do we wear long talaisim? But we have here a very interesting insight, that the idea of a talus is kind of to wrap you with a awareness of the Eibishter, and the more it wraps, kind of the better it is, so to speak, and should be wrapping the majority. And just to finish off, I just inspired by this. I said before, the shear of a talus cotton is the size that a cotton bentesha will walk out to the street. Why bentesha? So it says he's old enough that he can walk out on the street without someone accompanying. He's safe to walk out on the street alone. What's deeper to this? A cotton bentesha, as we know, is V'yosebio, is already able to be a mashpia in the world. He's able to go out to the street. He's able to engage in the street. That's where you need to have the protection that you have to have. Rosh Beruboy should be wrapped in with a talus, which is a priesthood of mitzvah, which is a mitzvah. And the similar thing, where it says that a godel, again it says, the shear is for a godel that he doesn't mind going out into the street wearing this. Why the emphasis in the street? Because the tzitzis are there to, in a way that we go out into the street, we engage out in the street, that we should be reminded of Yiddishkeit and about the Eibishter, and should protect us. Just perhaps I have now a very short story, and that is with the Baal Shem Tov, that he had a chassid who, unfortunately, his son decided to drop everything. And one day, the son comes to his father. He says, "Tati, mommy, I'm getting married with Ivanka." That's not the right name nowadays, huh? Not PC. Okay, but he wants to get married to Ivanka, a non-Jewish girl. And the father is devastated. He runs to the Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem Tov says, "Tell your bocher to come to me. I'd like to speak to him." So the boy accepted the thing, and he came to the Baal Shem Tov. And the Baal Shem Tov, he says to Rebbe, "Don't try to dissuade me from it's nothing to talk about." Baal Shem Tov says, I'm not asking you to cancel anything. If the Baal Shem Tov told the father, "Go ahead with the planning of the wedding, and it's just ask your son to come to me." So the Baal Shem Tov takes out from his drawer a small pair of tzitzis, and he says, "Bocheru, I'm not asking you to cancel anything. I'm asking you one little favor. You should wear this on you the whole time. You should wear tzitzis." So he's getting quite easy. He thought he was going to get a whole ear bashing about marrying a shiksa. Now he's just to wear tzitzis. So yeah, Rebbe, yeah. Okay. Comes to the wedding. The date comes, and there's a party, and it's all freilach, and they're all drinking. It's in Russia, Ukraine, you know how to drink, and it's all freilach. And the father, the Yiddish, the chassid is standing at the side. He just doesn't know where to put himself. He's going crazy. There's this whole shkotzim party in shiksas, and he's chassid the Baal Shem Tov. And then one of the shkotzim says, "I've got an idea. We're celebrating. I've got an idea." They're all well inebriated. So one of them says, "I've got an idea. We should strip." "Yeah, great idea." And then they say, "Oh, you're the man of the evening. You're the chosin," how you say chosin in Russian or Ukrainian. "You will be the first one. Sure. Takes off his tuxedo, takes off his shirt, and then all of a sudden they see this Tal's Cotton over there. Ah, you are shit like all the rest of them. They start throwing bottles and eggs and tomatoes, and he sees the Chosson runs up to the side to his father. Tati, let's get out of here. And that was, they all live happily ever after. And I wish you all a good Shabbos and a good Chodesh, and share sympathy with one another in good health.
Shabbos.
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 Shabbos.